Civil rights, we live in an economic Stanberg. I think President-elect Reagan, exactly how he feels dealing with the problems of black people in the state of Georgia. The programs now being proposed by Mr. Reagan, what I'm saying, programs that will create permanent jobs for people, not going around wasting taxpayers' money like Jimmy Carter did on cedar jobs. Those are dead-end jobs. What Mark City jobs. We want black America to be an entity, and that's one Jimmy Carter kept telling us, you have to do with less and do with less. That's a defeatist attitude. That's not the American way of life. The American way of life is we produce what we need. It was necessary to go to the moon. We built the capsule could take us there and bring us back. And not telling people to do less, that's a defeatist attitude. We've developed the first phase of our black agenda. That we leave that meeting, 10 of those persons, and that'll be 20 persons with myself, Charles Evers, and Dr. Ralph David Abernathy.
So those who want to take some cheap shots at the police who are giving it their 1,000% effort night and day, those who would print claims that in fact are not accurate, are doing a great disservice to a city that already has great levels of frustration and anxiety, and whose confidence in the police should not be erroneously eroded.
We have not ruled out the fact that there's a relationship. All I've suggested is at this point, the information that we have has not tied it together to suggest a trend or a pattern.
Do you have any more leads at this point?
Well, the ones that we have, we are investigating as quickly and as thoroughly and as comprehensively as we can. That these parents have. It's a very traumatic, unfortunate circumstance.
The police department doesn't want to alarm the community. They're afraid of panic. But how many children do we have to lose in our neighborhoods before the police department says, hey, we've got a problem? You can call me at 659-3406. But you got to take into consideration, most of the people in my area don't vote. And a lot of times things that count are votes. You know, like, and then sometimes what happens is a squeaky wheel gets the oil, and we tend not to squeak, so we get ignored.
There's no double standard here with respect to professional investigations. In every situation that comes to our attention, we have done our best and will continue to do our best. That has nothing to do with whether they live on the south side or north side or black or white or what have you. We're going to do our best.
Carol's mother, Earl, is presently missing. We'll be showing you a picture of him sometime. Within that these children are the same physical type.
First of all, you might remove all the handles on the inside of that car. It is sick in the mind, is a child molester with someone else. Don't go off with anybody. We are not saying that you not know his name, okay? The subject matter is, this is what you need to do. You need to avoid that person. Walk away from him. Keep those arms distance away from that stranger, okay? You young people need to remember that. Thank you so much.
By touching young children.
Why frighten a child with such stories? That some people find pleasure in molesting young girls?
The Missing Children's Task Force was called into this case because it involved a 12-year-old boy. But they say right now they have no evidence to indicate that this case is linked to the other.
Yo, ski, wo, ski. P-ski, we-ski. What you wanna do, ski? Nate Daniel. Niggas get jacked like Daniel. Something I can't handle. Yo. Okay. Yo, this is my story, this is my song. And to them moody poops, don't attempt to drop this at home is just a poem. Until y'all learn right from wrong. Know when to bless a situation, when to grab the chrome. But it's back on another stormy night in Atlanta, Georgia. Overcast, but on behalf of Outcast, I Georgia. We invite you to an emotion-filled theater. Bring your umbrellas, cause young fella, it gets no weirder. We reign, supreme, green, dungeon, kings. Do you know what brings rats, mice, snakes about they hole? Chunky fire, spliced with rock and roll, indubitably, piper pie. Now hold on, my brother, no, can't stop this ride. You know what brings rats, mice, snakes about they hole? Chunky fire, spliced with rock and roll, indubitably, piper pie. Now just hold on, my brother, no, can't stop the stride.
You are now entering the fifth dimension of ascension. Our only intention is to take you high. Yeah, my lord.
To make one bob their head be the track job, your job to spit that fire. Some of y'all MC take this rhyming for granted. I won't comply with that slacking. Popping and cracking forth what say we snapping. They want that hardness, that oddness that gets a nigga to start this. What's happening? See if I do what you won't do today, boy, will I live tomorrow like you can't even live? Cause you straight, motivational skills lacking. When I see a nigga, you're packing. Understand that though, you behind the $75,000 car though, but still stay with mom though. Playing the king like Don though. You choked up. You was the nigga that's supposed to been so loaded up, making them think hip hop is dead. Exhume the body if you ain't scared. And if I see you in the streets, I dap you down like you was bred. Yeah, we reign, supreme, green, dungeon, kings. Do you know what brings rats, mice, snakes about they hole? Chunky fire, spliced with rock and roll, indubitably, piper pie. Now hold on, my brother, no, can't stop this ride. You know what brings rats, mice, snakes about they hole? Chunky fire, spliced with rock and roll, indubitably, piper pie. Now just hold on, my brother, no, can't stop this ride. You know what brings rats, mice, snakes about they hole? Chunky fire, spliced with rock and roll, indubitably, piper pie. Now hold on, my brother, no, can't stop this ride. You know what brings rats, mice, snakes about they hole? Chunky fire, spliced with rock and roll, indubitably, piper pie. Now just hold on, my brother, no, can't stop this ride.
In the house, you know what I'm saying? Wanna say what's up in New York, you know what I'm saying? Cause we from down south, you know what I'm saying? There's New York up in this, you know what I'm saying? Are y'all in here? You know what I'm saying? This y'all city, you know what I'm saying? We just wanna say, you know what I'm saying? We'll say what's up to all the original MCs out there, people like that who got their own stuff.
Tell me what you think, how you feel the purpose of the committee is being served by the people that are running now.
Well, to me, they done got beyond the cause of the committee, because my impression of the committee is, you know, it's for a cause, and the cause is to save the children, not only the kids that just disappearing, but kids everywhere, you know, mentally, all this and that, not just as far as dealing with educational, drugs, and all this. This is what the committee is supposed to be about, in helping kids, all color, race, no matter what color, but it seemed like on one thing they seem to be like on this summer campership. Now the people they're going all around the world, you know, telling people about this, but it came up that the only kids that's qualified for this campership is black kids, only black. When the impression that we are giving the peoples around the world is that the committee is for all kids, black, green, purple, yellow, whatever, you know, like. If this summer, I feel that this summer campership should include all color, not just only black, because right now not only black kids is affected about what's going on, white kids are too, not just only black. But I feel like in some of the cases, you know, they didn't got beyond the cause of this committee, because they don't, to me, they ain't really doing the things that they're telling the people that they're supposed to be doing.
What are they doing?
Like we as far as like on the charter and the bank record books, you know, they tell the parents that the parents are in charge of everything. Everything that goes on in the community, they have to have the parents' consent. The parents have to agree with this and that, but it's not handled like that. You know, they could bring people into the organization, and the parents don't know nothing about these people coming into the organization until maybe we get to a meeting on Wednesday night. Then they got a new person that had a whole position over all the parents, and the parents don't even know nothing about this. Like they had Ralph Rodell, they had him brought in. He's a director of something. And the first time I ever met him was when they was bringing him in. We have another reverend from Boston. He's holding a high position, and they brought him in. Nobody know nothing about it, but the top, Miss Bell, Magda, and Venus. Now, they know about all these people, but the other parents didn't know nothing about them until they brought these people to us, when they tell you, well, you can't bring anybody into the organization unless the parents agree with it. Okay, when it first started, it was just 8 parents. Now it's over maybe 27 parents, and the people that's holding the position as far as our chairperson, the secretary, and the vice chair, I don't feel they're doing it right. They're not doing their jobs, because if they holding all these positions and much work that they need to be doing, then that wouldn't give them enough time to be traveling in and out of Atlanta to another state here and now, when they got work here that they should be working on when they don't be here. In the meetings that we have on Wednesday, really I don't even see the purpose of the meetings, because they don't talk about nothing of importance. They'll talk, we'll get and talk, maybe discuss. You know, you might talk to parents about so that happened and stuff like that. It don't be about the committee, the meetings that we be having. But that's when they bring their new people in. We have the volunteers are getting paid. Some of the top leaders getting paid. When they supposed to be doing all this free, it's supposed to be a cause, but they are getting paid.
How do you know?
Our office manager, she getting paid. I was told she was getting paid.
Yeah, she getting paid. Camille hired her.
Camille recommended that she be hired. When I was told, when I came into the organization, I wasn't working on nothing, but when I got into it, I had got me a job. I let my job go and everything, because I was told that I would be on payroll. And I've been going in and out of the states. I ain't got on payroll yet, and I'm still looking for me a job now, which I'm going to go ahead on and get me a job, because I'm not going to depend on the committee, because they done already felt that they send the parents out of town with so-called traveling expenses when it don't be over $40. Only somebody have over $40 is Miss Bell, Miss Matthew, Miss Taylor. They go out of town with humps and chumps. When the parents go out of town, don't have nothing. When they send the volunteers out of town, they have money, but the parents don't have money. What if the parents in charge of the organization, what a volunteer doing going out of town holding money that belongs to the parents? They do that.
And don't have no kids.
Sharon Moore don't have nothing but cats. She gets out of town, honey. She embarrassed the committee, because we in Nixon, New Jersey, and these people going all out of their way. You know, they were going all out of their way to please us. They gave us the best of everything. You know, she complained about us having one hotel room, a room together. She didn't like that. She tell the people she's so tired, they taking us out. They took us out to this real expensive restaurant. She get there and sit and just look like she wasn't even there. And then when the man come back, she say, well, I would like to go back to my hotel room because I'm very tired and I don't want anything to eat. She goes back to the room and orders tuna fish and junk like that. And she stay on the phone half of the time. She call all around the state. She know people's everywhere. You know, and these people had to pay for the bills and things, and she do that. She sits in, when we was in Nixon, New Jersey, when we went to bed, she was on the telephone. When we woke, Karen. Miss May Francia, close that door. All the flies coming in. I don't know her last name, but I know she the office manager, and Miss Bell recommended her. I think Miss Max's presented Ralph, if I'm not mistaken. But Miss Bell been knowing all them people. Sharon Moore, all the volunteers seem like she know all of them. They're personal friends. Even this lady got up, she thought Mayor Jackson was white. She said, I would like to apologize for the mayor for the way he's acting, you know. And then she told us that she was brown that all over the world. Come back to Atlanta, she praised them all. She don't say all that. She won't say that shit, huh? She don't. She don't do it here. She do it out of town. And then I believe in order for the mayor and the police department and stuff to be so, yeah, because you're on the outside.
Right. And more outside than live.
I'm in there, and I know it's something going on.
Yeah.
It is. But I don't understand why they don't want to be involved with the
All this stuff back up. I know they're going to be talking some shit. And then they send us on trip with Cora. Then we get back and with Cora, they say we don't even represent the committee. But they still take the check.
Let me show y'all if I still got it.
They still take the damn money. And like I told her, if they had a, and we get back, this we weren't representing Cora. We weren't representing the committee because we were with Cora. But yet still they sent us with Cora. And they go around, they represent Bell, Taylor, and Mathis.
Yeah.
And like I told Camille, if you ain't gonna represent all the damn parents, don't represent over there in the damn office. They can call you and tell you when you're gonna do this. They can call you and tell you when you ain't gonna do that. And like I told, shut the damn mouth, cause they know too much now.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna be. And what you gonna work in a place where you gonna be cussed out, dogged out?
So the meeting that we went to yesterday
Was about what came out in the paper yesterday.
what did Venus tell you then?
She said that she was suing the FBI. This lawyer was a personal thing to her, and it wasn't for the committee.
Even though they had 10 parents at another meeting?
Right, that's what she said.
In front of City Hall. Because he had one of his workers to come and pick me up right here. And when I got there, honey, you know, I didn't know what to do. I had got paranoid because when the people came, and I know this stuff was going to break out when they was trying to get Miss Jones, when Carl came to get Miss Jones from Ralph. I know they was going to have to.
And just the idea like this here, we got somebody sent $900 there for the parents. They took the money and put it in the committee.
And I believe that for the simple reason that these people that came up here.
We go out of town that we are supposed to write receipts. Why do we have to be giving receipts when they don't give them receipts?
When the money we use is supposed to be for our traveling expenses. And they tell us to bring receipts back. When I'm up in Ohio,
and what is she doing in Chicago all the time?
They name shouldn't be on them books.
And they shouldn't not deal with money. Period.
The parents shouldn't even deal with that money.
Remember when a couple of weeks ago, Mrs. Bell said
I would like to see the books myself. And I do know this for a fact, that they have checks over in their damn office that's supposed to be in their SCL office. They've been having them ever since March 18. Over $200. Over $200 a check. That's supposed to be made out to SCL.
And then they get up there and the books and things they ain't even seen. They promise these people little tours and they send little junk like this. They signed this one of the little tours. They signed the safety tips.
It's a white T-shirt, white.
She was telling him that he couldn't get
yellow.
the post off the wall.
They are yellow. They are yellow. Some gonna be yellow. Some gonna be green. It ain't the same man doing them things either.
You know what?
Her mama, her mother.
Her mother-in-law.
Okay, you hear this right here.
Mother-in-law gets them.
Hear this right here, baby.
And I was talking to her old man, and he was saying that when they send all her money,
she gets some of it.
That she had to give me Griffin some.
That's what she ought to pay. And they got the bags too.
Miss Griffin.
Got the bags
I
too.
don't understand how come you know all this big stuff that they doing.
Mrs. Rogers, who is really running the committee?
Camille, Mathis, and Venus.
How do the other parents, what is the role, let me just ask, what's the role of the other parents in the committee and how are they treated?
Well, the other parents are supposed to be the committee. But we go out of town sometimes, you know, or whatever. And then like, we don't get a chance to talk too much to news mediums.
Why?
I don't know.
How would you characterize the way that, for instance, other people on the committee deal with you and with the other parents?
I don't know. I can't explain it, really. I can't explain it really because And be so many different people, you know, in the office, telling us this and telling us that, so.
Do you think you're getting straight answers?
No, I don't.
Why?
I just don't. I just have my doubts about certain things.
For instance?
But I ain't gonna say it now. I gotta wait.
How close do you feel to the committee's purpose, and how much do you think that purpose is being carried out?
Yeah. Yeah, I do it.
Okay. But hey, wait one second, and we'll switch. So, how do you feel about your work with the committee? How do you feel about how the committee's handling, for instance, the money?
I feel all right sometimes working with the committee. But then about the money, I know how they said it, is how they saying it's gonna be handled, the money gonna be handled, but I really don't know.
Have you asked to look at the books?
No.
Would you like to?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I would. And the charter.
What do you think is going on? Do you think anything is going on over there?
I don't know yet. I don't know. Like I said, I can't say right now.
Well, you seem to be having some feelings about something.
Oh, I do, but I just don't want to say now. Probably later.
Do you think you're being treated fairly?
No, I don't think none of the parents is being treated fairly.
How?
To me, we're being treated like we are in a circus, you know. Everybody's trying to tell us who to talk to, who don't talk to, and the parents just feel like they're just being in a middle of things, you know. For instance, when Cora was here and had their little interview, that wasn't hassle.
So you're being pulled from side to side, or what?
Being pulled from side to side.
By who?
It's two sides.
Well, in an organization, really. And I just don't think that they are being honest with each other. None of the parents, really. Well, the parents that I know, you know, they found things out just like I do.
Like what?
Like, for instance, what was in the paper yesterday. I didn't know about that.
About Mark Lane?
Yeah, and I talked to some other parents. They didn't know about that.
Is that how things usually operate?
Mostly. We read about it in the paper, on the television. Like, I didn't know the Angels was staying over there. I didn't know they had moved into the office until I heard you on the news yesterday.
How do you feel about those things?
I feel that the parents should be informed before any decision be made. It's not a committee made up of just 3 people. It's 27. But it's just like 24 don't have no kind of say-so about nothing. You know, the 3 people just make decisions for everybody, whether we like it or not.
What about the meetings that you have every week?
Well, we go to the meeting every week sometime. Camille be there, sometimes Venus be there, sometimes Matthews be there. But if neither one of them be there, we have the little task force member where they take it over and they tell us what we can do and what we can't do or whatever.
What can't you do?
We can't talk to this person, we shouldn't be around that person.
They make suggestions to the...
I don't know what it is. You know, it's something. And it's bothering me real bad.
What are you going to do about it?
I haven't made up my mind yet. I don't know whether I'm going to stay in the committee or get out of the committee.
Let's say you decided to get out of the committee, how would that make you feel?
I think I would feel better. I think I'm going through more pain, more hell now, dealing with the committee than I was when I was dealing with my child. You got people coming from every which way, you know? And sometimes I feel like I'm a freak, you know, just stand up talking to all those people they bring in. And then you got some parents, they know what's going on. They don't like it, but they won't say it to Camille now.
What kind of things are going on?
Well, I ain't gonna get into that either, not right now. I gotta wait on that. Then when everything comes through like I'm hoping, then I'll call you first.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
I know you want to get your little 2 cent worth in.
Person on the committee. Oh, the visitation committee.
And so she do all the...
And Miss Jackson,
Miss
she's a
Jackson.
member.
See, Miss Jackson is the one with the car. And like when she got from work in the meantime, my daughter would call her and they would go visit.
When I went to talk to
And said what?
The thing was calling me.
Okay, and then what did she say when you got there?
Well, we got there, we went back in the office and she was saying that she was doing it personal for herself. That's me on the phone. And she said that I think it should be before or after the rally.
I had to go there and put on my lipstick.
But you know that's not true.
No, because they are tearing it up. Because what I can't understand.
He might have a very nice.
Yes, I called.
Said there will be a bomb
planted in the building.
And you said?
And I said, well, is this a prank, a joke, by it being the month of Halloween? And they said, no, if you don't believe me, then turn on your radio and see what happened to Bowen Homes.
And
Has he called back?
No, when we got here this morning, the teacher would open up. Someone had been unplugged our refrigerator in the back. Some of the back door was open, and I had some candy. Had ate the candy out of the refrigerator, and all the light was on. And then plus they took the paper and threw it all over the floor.
Here we are. This is September. Past the midpoint in September. The last time you saw either Mr. Crouch or Mr. Beard, the contractor, was
July 1979. And
so it's been more than a year ago since either one of the contractors were here?
one of the contractors, the other contractor, I think I saw him in May of this year. He came by.
But he's done nothing?
No.
And you had no satisfactory response from the homeowner's warranty people?
They were going to send me a dispute to get back and send out an agent and set up an appointment here, but they never did mail me the dispute form. I called them twice, 2 or 3 times about it, but I never received it.
Well, how do you feel about this whole situation?
Very disgusted. Being a homeowner, I don't think I ever want to buy another home through this company. Contractors deal with them, not the agents that sold it to me.
Would you cut that thing off? He's blowing this paper just a little bit, and sometimes when you're in tight, it really shows up. What did you ever do for them?
Works at the post office.
Downtown? Or not?
Moved out.
I was going to say not downtown anymore, yeah.
Moved out. I didn't get a call for me to come in. So you had to sheetrock all fish all across.
You had to pay for all this yourself?
Yes. All the way over. All the way out. Only thing they left up here on the side, this is all in there. All the side I had to get from out because it was so cold. Now I felt I couldn't have stand coming out getting across freezing. So this is the check that they used to Thomas.
$101 to do this work in the carpool.
I still owe him from Mo. He said. So he said, he didn't say anything, and then when I was down the house, it was easier. And you know, I'm thinking that it's all going to be completely finished.
You really have got a bird over there, huh?
You think so?
What?
Stop me, but I just got to do couple. That's it. I didn't realize in the back of this house, you know, you can see that house in the back. It'd be a tall fence back there.
Say, yes, sir. No, I'm not going to worry. I'm going to put it in writing and we got it.
Okay, but I haven't writing. I still haven't done that.
That's what we're getting.
I'm rolling. Don't give me that nose shot now.
Don't do it.
Come on in.
Hi.
Good morning.
Howdy. Are you Miss Jordan?
Yes, I am.
Come on out in the sunlight. We didn't bring our lights with us, so if you just come on out and talk with us out here if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay, what's basically the story?
Well, basically, the story is this. I purchased this house. I paid them, well, I sent some receipts to you all. I paid them, you know, $100 like on the 28th of July. And the first hour I paid them $200, and then the 26th I paid them $158. Okay, so the girl, okay, we closed the deal the 2nd. But they have in this paper is, well, the 1st. Okay, the girl moved out like on the 12th, the 13th, the 14th. And I cleaned the house out on the 15th. And on the 16th, I went back to, you know, take care of that salary, you know. They had a sign up saying condemned. So I contacted them. Well, in the beginning, the real estate, she's laughed. And I looked up, I was getting angry. And she asked me, when did they do it? I said, I don't know, they must have did it today. So she tried to contact Mr. McGee, so she said, but they couldn't get him. Okay, so she said they'd come back that following morning on the 17th, and she would say what Mr. McGee said. So she said, he said not to worry, that he would get everything straightened out. So later that day, Mr. McGee called me and said that he was going to try and pull some legal string to get the sound taken down in order for me to move in the house, and everything will be okay. I said, well, I tell you what, just, you know, refund my money. So they had me believing that they were going to refund my money for about 3 days. And so I talked to the inspector and I asked him, you know, was the house condemned legally by law and everything? He said, yes. I said, well, they told me you had no right to do it. And he said, by law, he did, said that the house was condemned and he wasn't taking that sign down until the house was up to standard. And he said that he was told that the girl was going to move out of the house. And as soon as she moved, condemned it. And he said he got a call, I guess later, that she had moved. They okayed for him to go and condemn the house.
Where is the house located?
It's up on Cook Street.
Let's...
They didn't want to admit they were wrong, you know. And I said, well, I don't know anything about a bridge against us for being in the city or Mr. Ellis. I said, all I want is just my money back. If it had been left up to him, he wouldn't have taken the thing.
Okay. We have a situation now, though, where the condemnation sign has been taken down. They have your down payment, and apparently they're ready to hold you to the deal. Is that the way the situation is?
And that's the way it appears to me.
Well, why don't you go ahead and take the house? What's wrong with the house?
Well, you have to see the house, and then, too, I don't believe nothing they're really saying about it. I still think that they will eventually come back or do something about the house, because he told me he wasn't taking the sound down.
So what was the total price that you agreed to pay for the house?
$3,000.
And you've already paid about $457?
Mm-hmm.
And you want the money back. You don't want the house.
No, because Mr. Ellis told me that he was supposed to lower that property low enough in order for me or anyone else for that matter to fix it up. And I said, well, what you mean he should be selling at property value, you know? He said, well, that would have to be up to me and Mr. McGee. I said, but it boiled down to what you were saying. That, you know, that's what he's saying.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's ride up there and take a look at it.
Will you walk out there and get back?
Yeah.
And I asked him why they started for time, because I see then that's what they were doing. And I said the reason he told me that in the beginning, he was going to see if he couldn't get the sound taken down.
Well, now the sign is down and the house is available for you to live on. Why don't you go ahead and move in? You got your house here for $3,000. Why not go ahead and take it?
Well, okay, after I talked to the inspector, the thing that he said had to be done to this house, I didn't even know these things.
So he told you that many things that were wrong with it.
Right.
What are some of the things?
Number one, he said it had to be rewired, and he got to have 2 outlets in each room, and all this siding would have to come down, and most of that top up there, and he said something about it'll have to be underpinned with seals with the house sit on, them things. And it will have to be hot and cold water, and have to be a sink in the kitchen and bathroom, which I knew a bathroom, because I was going to do that either way if I could put a septic tank.
Yeah.
But then I found out they were saying the land wasn't big enough for a septic tank.
Yeah.
And so the real estate told me that I did have a case.
So you feel the house was misrepresented to you when you signed the contract?
And if they had told me all these things in the beginning, I would have known.
Yes.
And I wouldn't have taken it.
So now you want your money back, and they haven't said they aren't going to give it to you, but they're installing, is that
He
it?
told me the 27th, if I didn't move in that house, I wasn't getting my money back. He was going to foreclose. That was the 27th of September.
Uh-huh. And he's still going to foreclose? Is that the way it is now?
Well, it's in the paper where he's foreclosing it.
And you're going to lose your down payment?
Well, I didn't think I would.
But that's what it looks like now.
Yes, it's, well, I don't intend to.
Have you got an attorney to fight it?
No, but I could get one. If that's what it took, because he's doing wrong about it, and I know he is.
Okay. All right.
I called about renting the house in back of there, and the lady said that it wasn't for rent, so I asked her why. And she said that it was for rent, that he was selling your house. So, I mean, I didn't think it was to leave from where I was to a bigger place. And so, I said, all right. I said, she said, bring $100. And they told me real estate. And I asked her yesterday, I said, why did Mr. McGee promise to reform my money? She couldn't answer that.
Why did he promise?
To return my money. He's got a real estate deal or book or whatever.
But did you talk to him personally?
And I was asking her, why did he promise me these things? Well, he wasn't, she couldn't answer that. She didn't know, but he promised her that. No, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't like it, because I wasn't I bought Alice to move in. The day I got ready to move, I couldn't get in. And that was 9 days.
Is that some of that termite damage there that you're talking about?
I guess so. But he said a faucet did all this here. It's a large house, and I like it because it is big. And he knows this cloud. He said to get our contract out, he said about, that for a week account was $3,000. He didn't really.
You're saying that you agreed to pay $3,000 for the house, and then you learned it was going to cost you $3,000 over everything fixed?
Oh no, that I don't think that included the inside, like the bathroom and everything. I don't think that included that. It's just when he checked out wiring and doing all this here and putting these seals to pin it in again. And all that. I think that's what comes to for that. When redoing most of the house, and I guess the course, you know.
So the time you got done, you got
to pay me on the foot, he could foreclose. I said, well, how long am I told these things? And he said, well, our witness would for you, you know. I said, I am just getting so confused about the whole thing. And I'm just tired of it. One said one thing, I can talk to another, they say no. I would be running around, I said, before I can leave one, they're gonna start ahead of me before I get there. Explain what I just said. They told me then they got a different thing about it.
Yeah.
And I have just gotten angry about it.
You did a lot of cleaning work in here too.
I sure did. I mean, I done it. And I was looking like the ground when I got through in this house. And he wants to do this here to me. And it's not fair. If he can fix up this, sell it to us, and why can't he do these same things for me the right way? And I wouldn't have a house.
So what you're looking for is your $457 back or the house fixed up right for you?
Right. If he agrees to do these things, but he don't want to talk to me. When I try to talk to him, I then talk to my lawyer. I said, well, Ms. McGee said this and Ms. McGee said that. Well, he didn't tell me anything about it.
The lawyer says that?
I said, well, why would he tell me these things? Well, I don't know. I talked really hateful about anything, so that really made me bored. They didn't want to talk to me. They're like, I supposed to just sit back. That's the name of that.
Okay. All righty. We'll talk to him. See what we can do.
All right.
Stand by.
This is a Polaroid picture of the house Mrs. Jordan took while the condemnation sign was still up. You can see it there just on the door. Mrs. Jordan says the sign was left up for 9 days. Then the inspector who put it up came back and said he'd been ordered to take it down. If it was up to him, she says he told her he would leave it up.
Few seconds on it. Okay.
Eventually, he bought this on a foreclosure himself. He's what's called buying it back in. He pays the whatever taxes and everything there is due, and ends up with the house back in his possession. It might be interesting to see how many other times he's done that with this same piece of property.
I had an idea that's what he wanted up to, auction off, someone buy it back from him.
He doesn't have to have somebody buy it back for him. He just buys it back himself. Called buying it in.
Well, that's legal.
Out of jail, and he'll start up again. He'll start flashing the girls and asking them to come over there, and he tries to molest them. And it's just all the little girls. He don't mess with the ones, you know, like 13 and up. He just messes with the little bitty ones.
The whole neighborhood is. And several of us walked the entire length of the wood area and around the creek area, which is a very nice area if you've been over there. And the children have been playing over there, you know. And now we feel, you know, well, this is a nice, relatively nice community, a nice creek area, a nice set of woods, and now we can't, you know, even allow the children over there.
Police identified the suspect as 31-year-old Gary Michael Love, and as of this morning, he was being held in the Clayton County Jail. Police say it would violate the suspect's constitutional rights not to let him out over the weekend on reasonable bond to await his preliminary hearing on Monday. And if the suspect can manage to raise the $5,000 bond, there will be a lot of nervous parents in this neighborhood over the weekend. In Clayton County, Terry Anser, Action News.
I need a job to make this parole. Then they got right to work on it, you know.
Yeah. Which church group are we talking?
Noonan Church of Christ.
Yeah. Is that nearby?
The minister there, you know, he came to see me, visited me regularly every Sunday, you know. Someone from the church did. And
did you have this church affiliation before you went to prison?
Right. Yeah. I parole without a job.
How does that work? Does the parole board come into the prison, or do you come to Atlanta? How does it?
Well, what happens, no, they send the parole officers a couple of times and discuss his job possibilities, and he kind of, you know, he won't give you any idea what...
At that point, when you have some commitment for a job, whether or not it's going to get you out.
No, you don't know. You're never sure, right?
What now? Do you work for the?
Well, the first time they deny you through mail.
I mean, that's automatic.
Tell people and, you know, interview you personally.
Mm-hmm.
But I was fortunate, like I say, I was a first offender, and I had all these people that got me the job. But if I hadn't have gotten that job, if I'd had no one that got the job for me, I'd still be finishing my sentence out.
Mm-hmm. What was the total length of it?
It would have been 2.5 years.
And of that you served how much?
21.5 months.
Mm-hmm.
Of 30 months, I served 21.5.
Yeah.
But I've seen, you know, a lot of people get letters back that, you know, due to the job situation, they weren't able to. At this time, you know, can't release you, whatever, you know, I can't remember exactly how the letter was worded, you know. But in essence, that's what it meant. You don't have a job, you can't go home, you'll have to finish it out.
Mm-hmm. So your idea is that you think a prisoner should be allowed to go out on a certain length of time. Would you tell me about that?
Right. Give the convict, when he gets eligible for parole, give him the opportunity to go out and find him a job. I mean, there's a couple avenues that you could take that would be feasible. Like give him 30 days to get him a job. If not, he has to come back and finish the remainder of his sentence. If he'd rather work or do time, it's that simple, you know, because jobs are available, even though you have to take jobs sometimes that you don't like or don't want, you know.
Well, wouldn't that cost a lot of money? For example, if a guy goes out for 30 days, he can't get a job. He's probably not going to want to go back in order to catch him and bring him back. Isn't that going to cost a lot of money?
Well, it would probably cost some money, but this is, you know, if they would screen the people, and if they were screened and interviewed, these people, the wardens of these camps, can just about tell the people that'll do it and won't, that are capable and not capable. I mean, by how they show and how they do their time, you know.
You don't think it would be that high a risk?
I don't think that the risk factor is that high. Now, you've got security problems with certain people. You can't just let. Now, I was in there for drugs. I wasn't in there for stealing or for hurting anybody, of course, you know, I mean, physically harm. It was a money-making thing. I did end up in prison. I'm not dangerous. They know I'm not dangerous. So, it's reasonable to know that you can let me out and hunt a job, because I'm not going to hurt anyone. But now, you've got guys that are, you know, that they haven't proven not to be dangerous, but they still yet, their parole situation doesn't come up. So what I'm saying is the problems you have with a lot of these people are not the dangerous type person that the public has to be concerned with.
Yeah, but wouldn't that put you or anyone else under a lot of pressure with the time limits? You go out and you knock on a lot of doors, you go to a lot of employment offices, and people are naturally skeptical of people who have been in prison, and you don't get a job. Isn't that going to frustrate you into maybe doing something more serious?
Well, it could possibly do that, but I just feel like that with what I've seen since I've been out in the last 5 months, that there's just no reason for a man not to be able to work today. There's just, especially in this, you know, in Georgia, Georgia's got more going on than any state in the union probably. And most of your convicts are construction type workers and laborers, and then you've got a few, you know, qualified people. You even have doctors and lawyers in the penitentiary.
Well, doesn't everyone have one or two friends on the outside who can help him find a job even while he's still there?
Well, it's extremely difficult. You really learn who your friends are when you get in prison. It's extremely difficult to get someone to take the time off from their job, you know, to put out this effort. And there's just a lot of people that don't have anyone to do this for them.
But they did it for you.
Right, but my wife was out here. She was knocking on doors and making phone calls and pressuring people to help, and then I had, you know, people that didn't have to be pressured, you know, that just did it, you know. But
how long from the time that you knew you had to have a job to get out did it take you to get a commitment for a job?
4 months.
4 months?
4 months.
And how long do you think would be a reasonable length of time to allow a person to come out and try to find one for himself?
I would say 30 to 45 days.
And if he doesn't?
If he doesn't, if he's not able to find a job, see how he's still out there, you know. See how he's doing. If he's got parents to live with, people to live with, don't put him back in the penitentiary. Let him keep on working for a job as long as he hadn't done anything. I'm saying don't deny a man parole simply because he does not have a job. Because it's so hard to get a job from inside the wall, you just cannot. I could got a job the first day I got out of the penitentiary. If I could have been there for a personal interview and showed the man my ability, you know, as a welder, he would hire me. If they needed a welder, I could have been able to get a job. There's plenty of welding jobs. They're in the paper all the time. I wouldn't have had any problem, but it took me 4 months through the efforts that had to be made by my family on the outside. See, where it was a 1 or 2 day thing for me personally, but I would have never gotten that opportunity had they not got it for me.
But I think we've covered the subject matter pretty well now. If you want any other shots. I was running in a 10K race, and the race had ended, and I reached in my pocket, my car key. I carry a little thing here, and there was a hole in the pocket. I home street about 40 miles away in Atlanta, and I called, and I got my answering machine, and it was me, saying, "This is Don McClellan," and she was a little more human to deal with, but nevertheless, she quoted me the regulations. That she was making an exception.
Let me suggest a credit card for you, Don.
I have one, but not when I'm running. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
Quite a while, and I had a lot of contacts with a lot of different people, pinball machine operations and so on and so forth. You know what all it's about, like I say. So they decided to turn informer. So if they could get a...
And that's where the nightclubs and so forth were?
Yeah, it was in Oak Ridge. I had a couple places in Oak Ridge. Yeah, this is we just like the country down here and the people, so we just decided to go.
Crushed when all this happened, humiliated, embarrassed, afraid of what reaction they would have, and they were all morally supportive. It was beautiful to see that. Even though what Jerry says about
from DEA to a GBO. And I guess kind of like the judge says, I knew what I was doing and was wrong. I went and served my time. I didn't inform. I could have informed and never served a day. When I didn't inform, they slapped a $150,000 bond on me. And we'd have heard Carol. I got a fair shake, I got the minimum amount of time for the crime. Always, it wasn't, if I hadn't just got out of the penitentiary too late to really do any planning this year. If I got behind the time, I would put out.
Did you consider getting into the nightclub business when you first moved down here?
No, because I was really sick of it. It was just too much. It's too hard of trade supply down here, really. Like we're really